one of these things keeps disappearing. I'm not gonna see it now. See here, it kind of keeps popping in and out. But it is 12:11, folks. Here, like, see, watch this. Here's this light. Look at that. I think this is recording too. Look at this thing right here. And then it kind of fades out. Good afternoon, folks, and happy Saturday. And I should say happy anniversary. 1 year ago today, I signed on the dotted line to purchase this property here, and it couldn't have worked out better. 1 year later, I have power. I have me a little lean-to. I have a little bit of a setup going on out here, and I figured what better way to celebrate the anniversary than to go ahead and camp out here tonight, do some cooking. I'm gonna set up some cameras. I've got a ton of stuff I need to try to get done because I feel like at some point I'm gonna have to take an inventory of everything I have, and I'm probably gonna have to run to town to get some food and maybe some extra stuff for the night. But I am super excited. I have a truckload of goodies that I have to get out and get unloaded. I need to get my tent set up. I need to start running, get my auger going and dig some holes for where I'm going to set up these cameras. I have roughly 160 foot of camera wire, so I can get about 160 foot out away from the tent. So what I am going to do is I am going to start getting some of that going. I think what I'm going to do, and as much as maybe I'm not a big fan of it, I think I'm going to set my tent up on this clay pad here, mostly because I don't see any ant hills. I don't see any sticks poking up through it. The ground's a little bit rough, but I got a mattress. So the other thing is I have not set up a tent, a camping tent, and I could not tell you how long. Easily 15 to 20 years. So it may take me a minute to get this tent set up, but once I do, I'm going to start getting out all my stuff to get put in there, and then we're going to start running posts for the cameras. So happy anniversary, 1 year. Here we go. Well, I kind of bashed this tent a little bit. It was probably had a lot to do with the fact it's been a long time since I put up a tent. My buddy Travis reminded me that the more you do it, the easier it is to put up. And I have a feeling he's absolutely right. By the end of this whole thing, I was actually pretty satisfied with the tent. Gave me plenty of room to move around, but there were definitely moments of frustration.
The sound of new shoes getting delivered, purchased with cash back.
Yeah, I won't lie. At one point, I was contemplating if I could get everything inside the lean-to and just camp out inside there. But the truth of the matter is, I didn't want to get bit by all the critters that are running around on the ground in there. So I decided I better read the instructions a little bit better. And after doing so, I was more convinced that maybe I got the wrong manual. Maybe I got the wrong instructions. I couldn't figure out if this thing was upside down or right side up or what was going on. Again, it had been a while since I'd put up a tent. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I've never been great at reading instructions, but I feel like this tent that they've got in this thing is different than the one that I have. I honestly can't figure out if I've got that thing upside down or not, even though the chimney hole is at the top, and you would think that's where it would want to be. I'm definitely having a little issue following these instructions here. Half of them are in another language, so I guess I'll just fake it till I make it here and see if I can get this thing upright. But yeah. At least one more excuse that I am going to use is the tent that was on the diagram there was a completely different color, so it was hard to distinguish what the top was, what the bottom was. Okay, I'm almost done complaining. I did realize while watching this video that I was actually trying to stake down the flaps that were on top of the tent. That's why I was having a hard time figuring out what was going on. But as you can see, I am struggling trying to put this thing up from the inside out, and I still could not get it to stand up. So I had to take another little break, catch my breath, try again. Well, I may have to watch me a YouTube video. I thought I had it upside down, so I flipped it over. Things started making a little bit more sense when I flipped it over. But now that I'm trying to put that in there, I think it's upside down. After a couple videos on YouTube, I kind of started to figure things out a little bit, as you can see. I managed to find the guideline that came out of the front there that helped me hold the brace up while I was doing the rest of the build. But as you can see, it finally started to come together, and I was starting to figure it out. And I was pretty glad because it had taken quite a while. And I ran into this line about 45 times throughout the night. All right, well, listen, folks, an hour and a half later, and I've at least got it standing upright. I am not a tent critic. It's been a long time since I've put up a tent, but it seems like this one's maybe a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. You pretty much have to put it together from the inside out, which makes it very complicated to move around, to be able to see, to get everything lined up, because they have these little ropes that you got to kind of tie it onto there to keep it into place. You've got this wire or this line that comes straight out, so you're basically walking right into that anytime you're coming in or out of it. I think I have one more part to put one more piece to put together, and then I'm going to kind of give it a final tightening up everything, get her down into the ground. That took a lot longer than I wanted it to, and I feel like they could have made it a little less complicated than what it is. But I'm going to try to get the rest of this thing done. We got to get some posts in the ground, get our wires ran, we got to get our little table set up, and then I need to run to town to get some groceries. So we're already running out of daylight. It's about 3 o'clock, so I got a few more hours to get everything set up, ready to go. And then we're gonna eventually cook out. We're gonna grab these trail cams at some point today, because they've been down here. A couple of them been down here about 3 weeks. So here we go. I did go ahead and not film some of the assembly I did on this tent. I was kind of already done embarrassing myself, but looked like I got the other side done right, and I figured we were on the right track, and maybe we were just about done with this little project here. All right, well, I feel like I should have started with the post and the cameras, because I think that would have gone a whole lot smoother, but I think I've got it up enough that it's gonna stay up. I got my little setup here going, and I think here pretty quick I'm gonna start setting up cameras. This I'm not gonna lie, this thing is it's a good sized tent. It's just a little bit tricky to get set up. I actually already tore a hole in the bottom here. I have to kind of show you what I mean, but you're supposed to kind of take these apart and slip them into these little sleeves all while you're doing that, and it's like that was a little bit more complicated than it needed to be. But I don't know, I think it's going to stay up. More than likely I'm just going to be going in there to go to sleep. But got my little setup going on. I'm going to take a break for a minute, and then we're going to start setting up some cameras. I'm going to get my cords and stuff out, and we're going to kind of get an idea of how far I can go with the cords before we set the cameras up. But I think I'm going to set one up straight down this way a little bit where they opened up that big opening. I'm going to probably either set one up going up this trail or that trail. I'm going to set one up back here in the corner facing the tent, so that if anything kind of comes in around the tent, we should be able to see it on the camera. And then I think the last one, I'm gonna run down this trail heading towards the old South Log Road. So take me a break, get me a drink. We're gonna start getting the auger out and getting those posts dragged out. So here we go. Well, I'd finally got to what I thought was gonna be the easy part of this whole setup, but of course, nothing ever goes as planned. It was also about this time that I was really hoping my air mattress was going to have plenty of air in it, because I could feel them rocks coming through that tent and through my jeans, and it was hurting my backside, and I was ready to get up out of there as quickly as I could. But this thing, of course, had to give me a little bit of trouble too. By this time of the day, folks, I wasn't ready to ride this bucking Bronco that I was about to ride. I am really glad that off switch was there. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that thing would have thrown me into the next county. I cannot even tell you how many roots I was tearing through trying to get down just deep enough to put this post in the ground. And I still had 3 more to go. Not to mention, I had to drag that auger to those 3 locations. But for the most part, dragging the wires out there and getting them hooked up to the camera, well, that was pretty much the easiest thing I had done all day, except for maybe drag a few things out of my truck. But the problem with that was I still had to do all that other work to get to that point right there. So, all right, let's go see if this works here, folks. I'm going to try to talk loud so you don't hear the radio back there, because I don't want to get hit with a copyright infringement strike for listening to music. But this has been a little bit of a fight so far. Let's see if that one is up. Yep. All right, let me turn this off before I get hit there. All right, so that is pointing here at the tent. All right, so this is going to take me a few minutes, and I need to hurry up, so I'm not going to record the rest of it. I'm going to get them set up, and then I'll catch back up with you guys. I'll show you where I got them set up, and then we got to take a quick inventory and then probably get to town. So here we go. All right, folks, well, I am running way behind. This took way longer than I expected, and one of my cameras is not working for some reason. I pretty much set it up like I did all the rest of them, but for some reason number 3 is not working. I tried to rerun it and everything, but I feel like it maybe the cable's bad, maybe that extra cord I got is not good or something. But so I got 3 cameras going. I got one on the tent. I'll show you where this one's at back here. This one's at back here by the elevated tree stand, and this is by the area where they piled up all the trees at. So we got this one running down over to here. Maybe that third one, number 3, will end up coming on. I don't know what's wrong with it. I did everything I thought I needed to do, but it's right back over here, kind of facing back behind that pile of wood. And then I've got a camera set up straight down this trail here, basically focusing on the area back there by the elevated tree stand and where the deer feeder is, and if anything comes down this trail, it should probably pick it up. It is giving me notifications on the TV that there's movement, but I still haven't figured out how to get it on my phone. And apparently I have to have my hotspot running for these cameras to work. Probably what I need to do is when I take it home tomorrow, set it all up at home and see if I can figure out what's wrong. Figure out if I can basically run this without any kind of Wi-Fi, because really while I'm out here I'm going to just mostly be watching it live anyway. Anyway, with all that being said, I am way behind. I got to run to town. I've got to get some food. I've got to come back here. I got to get my my little pole set up for my lanterns, get some food cooked up. I need to get my bedclothes in there. I already have a feeling it's going to be super uncomfortable. This ground is really hard. That floor is very, very thin. Hopefully my air mattress hangs in there. But I'm getting ready to go live for about 5 minutes on YouTube, and then I'm going to get on down the road. So we will catch you here in a little bit, folks. All right, folks. I'm getting my fire started. I'm getting ready to start cooking. I've already had a couple problems. Somehow or another to my dry wood box, it was really wet inside, so I don't know exactly how that happened. I had these 2 propane lanterns that I was really excited to use, and I had a brand new bottle of propane and everything to go in it, and it like burned up and was gone in like 20 minutes. So I don't know if that's like a normal thing or if something's wrong, but it seems like there's always something kind of wrong. But it's about 8:30 at night. I'm gonna try to use my flashlight so you guys can see, because it's pretty dark. But I got my fire pit going. I still got these cameras going. I did see something over here on the other side of that camera. I'm guessing it was like a possum or a cat, like a house cat, because it didn't seem very scared. It just kind of sat there for a minute. I could see the eye shine. I think I can turn this off. Got some lights going in here, and then here's the cameras. So far I haven't seen anything yet except these little things flying across over here. But I think what I can do once I get home is actually plug it into my computer. You guys probably can't see me. Plug it into my computer and then pull up any footage that got recorded. So I'm gonna try that when I start putting this video together. Get over here back towards the light. Again, I'm not sure. My bad. I was trying to look at my screen to see how lit up it was. But anyway, so it's I'm getting ready to cook me up some brats, have me a beer, sit back, relax, listen to some music. I'm gonna go live again here in probably just a few minutes once I get these brats going. And other than that, man, we're gonna have a pretty nice relaxing evening out here. So we'll catch you in a few. Here we go. Well, you probably can't see anything. You can see the humidity on here. The humidity is ridiculous right now down here. But I finally got my sausages cooked. And I may have to tuck my camera stuff away, because it is getting really wet down here, folks. But I am going to eat some dinner. I'm going to listen to some music, and I'm going to call it a day. I will let you know if I run across anything too wild and crazy. But I appreciate you guys joining in for sure. One of these things keeps disappearing. I think most of these are stars. I'm not going to see it now. Okay, I think it's the wind blowing. Now that I have it on the big screen, it's a little bit windy, but I kept seeing this light and I thought it was eye shine. See here, it kind of keeps popping in and out. You can see it in a couple places actually. Okay, false alarm, but it is 12:11, folks. Here, like, see, watch this. Here's this light. Look at that. I think this is recording too. Look at this thing right here, and then it kind of fades out. I hope it's showing up as big. I gotta stand up. My knees are hurting. Now it's disappeared. I don't know how close I am to the screen, folks. I can't see the... But it's weird because I could have swore this thing was actually just over here a minute ago. I mean, I have no idea what it is. It's probably very explainable. But there's definitely stars. And that's probably what that is. But I just watched it for about 5 minutes and I kept noticing it was disappearing. Alright. I think false alarm. I think maybe it's a star. And the wind's blowing. So the leaves are covering it up, but it didn't come back. See, something just popped in right here. I haven't seen it over there. I mean, I guess it could be the pixelation. Alright folks, nothing much to write home about. Been pretty quiet out here for about an hour. Gonna go ahead and start setting up my mattress and bedding for the evening. We're gonna see if I make it through the night. Hopefully my air mattress stays up, but this might be a little bit of a long video, folks, but I appreciate you tuning in with me. We're gonna get this set up, and if anything happens in the middle of the night, I'll let you guys know. But more than likely, if I don't get a good night's sleep, it's because my air mattress went out or I got cold. Here we go. I hate to admit, but this little air mattress took way longer than I thought it would. I think I'm saying something about that right there. But yeah, I definitely am going to need a much better air mattress. That one did not hold up very well. Sorry. All right, well, I finally figured out the air mattress. It's definitely not the Taj Mahal of air mattresses by any means, but it seems to have some air in it. So now I got to get the rest of my stuff. Here we go. I think this is a sleeping bag. I can't remember. It's been sitting in my truck it's been sitting in my house for a week, or maybe longer. Thank goodness that was that sleeping bag, because that may be the only reason I am not having to get scheduled for a hip replacement, laying on that hard ground with that air mattress. I just about stepped on my glasses. One thing that is going to be a problem anytime I do this is the humidity. Everything is soaking wet. That's why I waited till the last minute to do this. I'm hoping I can get in here, shut my door, and it won't get in there because everything is wet right now. Anyway, I'm also very glad that I decided to grab a couple extra pillows at Walmart, because those two also saved me. Those two pillows that I got that are the memory foam apparently did not have any memory. I'll tell you this, once my batteries died on my two lanterns, it was really dark out there and it was pretty quiet. I decided I better go ahead and get these doors closed up on that tent. Otherwise, it was going to get soaking wet in there. Most of my clothes that I was wearing at this point in time were already pretty wet, so I decided I was going to try to get the fire going again, try to get myself warmed back up and dried off. Well, I will say this. That tent does have a lot of room in it. I was able to get everything in there, and I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get everything in there, but I was able to get it in there. It's definitely got a couple downsides to it. I mean, the zippers get stuck for one thing. Like, no matter how slow I go or fast I go, the zippers end up getting stuck. I feel like they've got a lot of these guidelines coming out of it, so I've definitely almost tripped a few times. Hopefully keeping that door closed will keep the humidity out of there. I've said it a bunch. It's wet out here. It's a little bit cold out here. So the fire is just about out. I'm gonna hang out by the fire for a few minutes. It's been nice and quiet out here. I'm trying to be quiet so the dogs don't get riled up. But I appreciate you guys joining me on this journey. I'll probably check in one more time before I go to bed. And if anything comes up and pays us any attention. So here we go. Good morning, folks, and happy Sunday. We made it through the night. Didn't get attacked by any animals or anything. Best I can tell. But now I gotta get all this cleaned up. Get home and get ready for another fun-filled work week. Fun-filled work week. I don't know if we caught anything on the cameras or not. It was pretty noisy out here, but we made it. There we go. Gotta get this place cleaned up. Well, folks, I ain't gonna lie. I'm pretty sure my hip is broken. I've got to definitely get myself a new air mattress or something a little better than what I had there. That didn't work out very well. But I'm definitely moving very slow this morning. I'm hoping to I was gonna set this camera up and do some recording, but I'm moving super slow because I really did something's wrong with my hip here. But I'm gonna try to get all this stuff gathered up, get myself on down the road. I had a lot of fun, really. It was nice to be out here. The dogs across the road were going ballistic, but it seemed like once they finally quieted down, it was pretty easy to get to sleep. So anyway, probably check in one more time before I go home. But first night camping out at the ranch, I thought it went pretty well. We had a couple hiccups, but we got her figured out. So hope everybody's having a great Sunday so far. We'll catch you in a little bit. All right, folks, well, got pretty much everything cleaned up here. I'm gonna leave that fire pit and that picnic table there. Eventually it's gonna go over here after I get that little pile of stuff burned out of there. But unfortunately, I tore a huge hole in my tent trying to take this thing down. The wind just started like blowing, and I was trying to take the poles down anyway. I ripped a big hole in it, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use that tent again. But I gathered up all the trail cams. We'll show those at some point in time. I had a lot of fun down here for the 1 year anniversary of being down here on the property. It was a nice, fun experience. I need to gather up some more gear, a tent now at this point, but I need a better air mattress. I would do it again. I don't think it'll be anytime really soon. It's a lot of work. Like if I did it again, I probably wouldn't set up the cameras, at least not anytime real soon. That's a lot of work to get all that stuff put up and all that. But anyway, it was still fun. It's going to take me a couple days to get this video edited and posted on YouTube, but I'm going to also go through the DVR at some point in time and see if anything ever came in. I know we saw one little I don't really know what it was. There was either eye shine or some sort of a light back here. I don't know, it's maybe the stars and the wind blowing, and the wind was covering up the star, and I just couldn't tell exactly what was going on. But other than that, it was pretty quiet, and the dogs were going crazy all night. Heard some coyotes. But other than that, it was a pretty good night. My hip's feeling better now that I've been kind of walking around a little bit, so I'm gonna definitely have to figure out a good air mattress situation, and next time we'll maybe be a little bit more prepared. So this was a good this was a good test. See what I needed, what I don't need, and how to do it a little bit quicker and efficient next time. So guys, I appreciate you joining me. That's going to be it for this video, the 1-year anniversary down here at the Rated R Ranch. I appreciate everybody following along, appreciate the subscribers and the comments, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And we will, next time I come out, I'm probably going to actually spend most of the day just getting my lean-to organized, because I have a whole bunch of stuff in there. But eventually I got to get out here and weed eat. Everything's starting to grow back in, so we got to get back to work next time, folks. Have a great week. We'll catch you next time.